Well, hello there, heavenly humans. How are you doing? Well, I know it's been a while again. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things, but this is the Glenn Cobbin Senior One Heartbeat podcast, and I know my subscribers, y'all need to start subscribing a little bit more. I'm gonna start giving you some real stuff because I know it's time. I am in the month of Ramadan as a Muslim, as Islamic. Fasting period, where all the great prophets fasted, and this right here is the longest fast, and it's got the more people fasting than anybody in the world ever had. So it's a 30-day thing. This is my third day. So and the object of it is to get closer to your God, Allah. So that's what I'm doing, and because we all have the same God. Oh, I've been through that so many times. But this is Glenn Cobbin Senior One Heartbeat podcast, where animals, human, and nature is supposed to coexist. I think that's the way the Creator wanted it to be. Because, if you go far enough back in your scientific research, you'll know that we all was created out of water for the most part. And, we all one and the same. So if you hurt one of us, you hurt all of us. If you help one of us, you help all of us. So, but this is just for me today. This is my therapy for me today. I hope people listen to it. I hope people subscribe to it, share it, because it's going to be about Glenn Cobbin Sr. today and how he feel about life, how he feel about, his spirituality. It's going to be about, my relationships with people in general, you know what I mean? And, so just listen to me. It's going to be a short, but it's not going to be as long as, I just say it like this right here. When it's time for me to shut up, I'll shut up. How about that? But we're going to talk about, last time we had a bunch of words we delved through, like arrogance, pride, jealousy, envy, insecurity, tolerance, love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. All these words, and it was, it's like two separate entities in one body, because we all probably possess some of these characteristics. But I think I'm gonna get into loving myself today, how much I love me. And I know that in the years gone by, I haven't loved me the way I should have loved me. I should love me for who I am and what God created me to be. And stop thinking about everybody got to love me, and I got to change and be a certain way for people to love me and care about me. If that's the case, well, maybe they shouldn't love me. I mean, in relationships, friendships, spouses, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the case may be, father and son, mother and daughter, and baby mama and daddy and baby daddy and all that good stuff right there. But it's all about me as an individual. Who do I love and why do I love, and where did love come from, and all this stuff right here. And and so in saying those things right there, I have personally been trying to explore, why do I love me, or do I love me, or if I love me, why do I treat myself so bad? Why do I eat too much food if I love me? Why do I smoke dope, and why do I sell drugs? Why do I hurt people? Why I say derogatory things? Why do I use profanity? Why I'm not motivated to exercise? Why do I drink? You know what I mean? Why do I not want to get along with a person? That type of thing, in a relationship. All these things come to play. But if you treat yourself, in my opinion, if you treat yourself like you are somebody, if you love yourself first and make sure that the standards that you loving yourself by are very, very high, raise the bar so that anybody that come into your world, into your space, into your existence will love you with those same standards. Or if not, you can see that they're trying to take away from the standards in which you love yourself by. What I mean by that, if I carry myself a certain way and I treat myself a certain way, well, then the next person should treat me the same way or better. But see, in me personally, I want to treat myself so good, but I don't want to come off as being arrogant or narcissist or, overconfident, and all these things right here. So in knowing that, I try now, I'm more conscious of, hey, tone it down some. Because I do have a lot of confidence in myself. And it does seem like I'm narcissist sometimes, or over prideful, or overconfident, because I know I have to keep myself motivated to keep on loving me. And it's scary not to love myself now. It's, if I didn't love myself, who's going to love me? You know what I mean? So when people see me loving myself and respecting who I am, respecting what I stand for, respecting what God created, well then maybe, just maybe, they can give me that same or more. I'm talking about on every level of relationships, And so, and me, I mean, even the utmost respect for the poorest person, or a person that people don't hear from, or a person who's living a life as a non-existent because they're in their own world and they can't get out the house enough, or the little old lady across the street, or the single parent baby mama who got 5 kids and she's by herself, and don't want to love herself, don't want to think she's nothing, and been mistreated and abused, and people have taken advantage of her, and all these things right here. I can come along and love her and let her know that she is somebody. She is somebody. And so that's the type of love I'm talking about. That's the type of respect I'm talking about. That's the type of self-pride that me personally, have to, keep on being conscious of before I let anybody treat me any kind of way. And that's what it's all about right now, man. It's about me. This is therapy for me. You know what I mean? This podcast, I should be doing more with it. I should come down here and really get into it. I got a lot to say. I do a lot of studying. You know what I mean? So therefore, God has blessed me to be able to understand things that I can engage in conversation with on any level with anybody. And see, there I go again, using I thing. But I'm telling you about me. It's about me today. It is about me. But I tried to look at myself through the eyes of others as well. But today it's about me. It's about Glenn Cobbin Sr., Glenn D. Cobbin Sr., and and so I have to keep that confidence up, and I have to keep telling myself sometimes, even, because I had a pretty rough life. You know what I mean? I mean, especially people in Colombia and people in prisons and people in different cities and states, maybe even a country or two, that knows what I did all those years. So I'm not trying to bring all that stuff up, but I was downtrodden. I was beat. My self-confidence was low. My self-esteem was low, And so when I finally got to the point where, I can really look into my own eyes and who do I see? Who do I see? I see a human being that was created by the Most High. God Almighty created this human being like He did every last one of us, even the ant. God created. He knows all these things, man. And so, in knowing that, I try to keep myself on a level where, I can be my best self every day. I can really, really get into who I am, so that I won't be able to falter, and I won't be able to fall on my face and not get up. When I do feel downtrodden or misused or abused or feeling like I don't have a confidence in the day, I can say, hey, wait a minute, God, come on, give me a hand here. I need you. Because God said, call on Him. You know what I mean? That's what I do, because I know, or call on my fellow man. I want to be able to call on my fellow man or my fellow woman or my fellow friend or my fellow whoever it is. I want to be able to call on them so I can get some type of help, because, it's a lonely world out here, man. And if you don't have people in your corner, you don't have people you can talk to and you can bounce stuff off of. You know what I'm saying? So every now and then you may need a punching bag, and I've been a punching bag for a lot of people, and that's the fact, especially when in my community, because I hurt my community so bad. I was this figure. I had an alter ego that was worldwide, man, and I thought I was all that. You know what I mean? And maybe I was to some people, but however, it wasn't conducive to me trying to live the way I'm living today. I'm not talking about material, and the material wealth. I've always had money in some form or fashion. I've always could get money, and that's not where I'm at today. Today, the money can't get me where I want to go, because you know where I want to go. And I can say this because this is my story today. I want to go to heaven. I believe in my heart I've been to the Lord's heaven when I was shot and then was DOA and I died. So, I believe I've been to the lower heaven. I believe there's 7 heavens out here. There's 7 skies. And the constellation is closer than we think. And all these things right here are maybe further away than we think, But however, there's a lot of study that goes into what I'm saying right now, and I'm not going to bore you with all the things that I know, because I study every day, and I want somebody that can study every day and to conversate with me about the constellation, the 7 heavens, the hereafter, the barzakh, the barrier, between the earth and the world right now and the heavens, man. I want to be able to have those conversations because you know what? Guess what? We will we could say things that of this world and we think we in a good place, man, but you know, the more I study, the more I know that the world is just a temporary spot for everybody because we losing somebody every day. Every day we losing somebody that we love, somebody we were close to, somebody we grew up with, you know, and all those things of that nature right there. So I know and I believe in that we all to start looking ahead. I'm not talking about as in trying to I mean, no, hold on, let me back up. I know we need to build a foundation that's solid on this earth and take care of the business here. But that's not the ultimate stop for us. This is a probationary period in any school of thought. That's what it is. Any school of thought, that's what it is. But I know one thing. I've been looking real close at the Bible, the Circle 7, the Holy Quran, the Catholic Bible. And, you know, and I've been looking at the word Christianity, what does it really mean? And then I really have been looking at the church. Now, again, this is me talking. This is Glenn Cobbins on the One Heartbeat podcast. You know, and I'm saying these things because these things have been affecting me. Looking at Christianity in a whole nother light because I study and I don't let that preacher tell me what he thinks is what the word is saying. You know, he's not a scholar. He's just a human being that read the book and put it in his own words, whatever the case may be. And some of them are maybe not like that. But God gave me the brain too. He gave me the same ability to rationale. You know, we're the only animal that can do that. So that's what I've been doing, y'all. I've been really getting into that book to understand why in the world did this book that was supposed to be filled with so much spiritual advantages is still caught up in the world. I'm talking about we are caught up in the world because of the Bible, because we were misled. Now I can go into a whole nother realm of conversation with that, but I'm not going to do it today. But I want you to know that I'm going word for word, letter for letter, studying comparative religion, scholars, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Catholicism, Islam, and Christianity. I'm studying these things, man. And as I study them, they all got one thing in common that the world don't want us to know. That's how come I know we all corded together. And that's where this one heartbeat thing came from. It came from we all are the same. It's only one God, man. I don't care how you slice it. You know, it's one God, man, and everybody's squabbling over this, man, and it's separating us. And we need to understand that because we're not understanding it. Everybody say there's three gods. Come on now. So if there were three gods, it's just like there were three people. There's three people. There's three people out there. Okay, it's three gods, three people. If one of them go do a murder, is all three of them going to jail? Heck no. That right there is an obvious sign that somebody has been lying to us. And we have been taking it, man. I'm talking about me first. So the reason I'm talking about that today, because I'm in a month of Ramadan, I'm fasting, and I'm praying to one God, Jehovah, Allah. You know, those are the, you know, you can't separate that. It's just a name, you know, praiseworthy. You know, the worship one. That's what Allah means, the worship one. Well, who else you going to worship? Are you going to worship a man? Gods don't eat. Gods don't do what the earthly people do. Those are not called gods. And that's for my studies. I won't get too deep into that. But I want you to know that's why I'm doing that today, because I feel some type of way that this word needs to be out there. We need to understand that, you know, we cannot take the word of nobody behind a pulpit unless you do your own investigation. And that means study to show yourself approved, like the Holy Bible preaches. That's the word of it. The study is to show yourself approved. And we got to understand what Biblos mean, you know, a book of books. You know, but whose books? You know, we got to understand that the separation between the word of God and those who said that God said this, or they said Jesus was a God or his son. We need to understand all that stuff. Until we understand it, all we doing is taking somebody else's word just like that book is telling us. And that ain't how it is, man. And I can't never down that book, because that book saved my life too. Don't get me wrong. But there's so many changes and differences in that book that we have to take a long, hard look at it so we can be the individual that God created. Not that some Marco Polo or whoever changed the artwork and the words in the book in the Bible, so-called Bible, and made us think something different, separated us. And that's why I'm doing it, because I don't want that book to separate us. I love Christianity, because Christianity means one who followed the ways of Christ. And who did Christ follow? Christ followed the one and only God. Christ followed God, and God was, and so that's why One Heartbeat even exists. That's why it exists, man. Christ never claimed divinity. He never did. If you can show it to me in that book, show it to me. I wish you would. My number is 573-268-5192. This is the Glenn Cobbin Sr. One Heartbeat Podcast. And this is some real stuff for me. Because guess what? I couldn't be all I was created to be until I started studying for myself. I started studying for myself, and then I started studying Christianity. What does it mean? What does the Torah mean? What did Moses bring? And these things right here are things that I believe in my heart are true, and they're so prevalent once you study them yourself instead of worrying about what the preacher's saying. So, that being said, I feel some type of way, and I think we all need to coexist as one. We serve the one God, and we need to bow down to that God and that God only, because there's only one. But we also need to respect and revere all of the messengers from Adam to Muhammad. Peace and blessing be on all of them. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, and everything in between. And then the different philosophers that came, and different people that came with they shared their message so other people can understand it. Like I study Noble Drew Ali, the Circle 7, to claim my birthright. He came with a prolific message, so why not, put him in there? Because guess what? He got a lot of things to say, and we have to understand these things, man. But we have to study. You just can't just take my word. So I'm saying that to say this in essence is that. When I learned that I was created to serve God, and if I serve God, if I serve man, I'm doing God's work. I'm serving God because God created man, and he wants you to respect his creation. So if I got a place in my heart where only God can go, then guess what? I can treat my fellow man like my fellow man instead of something that I'm bigger than, or I'm better than, or I'm a different color. I got more money than, I'm taller than, I got more hair than, I got a beard, I got more muscles than, I'm lighter skinned, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I drive a different car. So what? I've had all that. That's nothing. If I'm being judged by my material possessions, guess what? What about the character? What about the inside me? What about my heart? What about my heart? How do you feel about me as a human being? Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where the love come in at. My substance, like Martin Luther King said it best, the content of my character. The content of my character. What about that? Does that mean anything? Does that mean the content of my character? Does it mean anything to anybody? Yes, it does. It means something to me. And hopefully it means something to the people that I can share my life with, I can put in my circle, the stranger that I meet, the homeless person, the indigent, the destitute, the children, elderly, and the orphan, and the widows. And the wafer, which is a stranger. So maybe my character can shine. Maybe I can be a light, the one that God created, the light that God created, not this dim, ugly light that I lived under for 38 years. Not that light, And we got to be ever mindful, man, that when we understand what that light really calls for, we know we could see ourselves will shine, and you'll see that darkness outside of your light. If you will. What I mean by that darkness will go away from you. Like shoe fly, get behind me, say that type stuff. And then that light is the truth. That light is the absolute truth. See, God says in the Holy Quran of Mecca that he hurled the truth at falsehood and knocked his brains out. And so this is the type of light I'm talking about. That's the type of light that I want to be. And I have to love me in order to be that light. I have to be fair. I have to be honest. I have to be trustworthy. You know, yeah, I have to love me. I have to respect me. You know, and I have to definitely love and respect, as in adorare, the the love for God more than anything. Love him that I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to disappoint. You know, and I know I disappoint him every day, but then I got to have the attitude of repentance to say, God, forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, God. Please help me get stronger the next time. Don't let me make this same mistake again. Let me resist that female over there, that woman, that beautiful woman over there. Let me, or the girl said, let me resist that of the money or the cars or the guy or whatever. Let me resist something that's not conducive to what you want me to be or how you want me to live my life. And you have to love yourself a lot to really, really get into that type of thinking, man. And so you have to really, really calm down and just say, you know what? And you ain't got to convert. The thing, it ain't to convert anyone. Trust me. There's no compulsion in religion. You can't force religion on nobody or no school of thought that's higher than the human school of thought. There's no compulsion in religion. The Quran says it all through the Quran. There's no compulsion in religion. You can't force nobody to want this. But I can say it, and hopefully the light shine through to somebody's heart. And people say, "Oh man, that's good stuff, man. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try to live that pious life, that life with that when you gotta worry or when you going through something that you can call God, please help me. God, I need you. God, I need you. You are the sustainer, the cherisher of all the world, the supplier, the nourisher, Call on God. He wants you to call on him, and I'm not trying to make this a preaching session, but this is about me. This is what I do. Because, and I'm a strong individual. As an individual, I'm a strong man. Excuse me. And so, therefore, if I can call on God, then you can too. You can call on God, man, because guess what? God is almighty, not you or I. You or I. We're not almighty. God is almighty. And there's a force out here that's always going to try to stop you from calling on God. And it's called pride, arrogance, jealousy, envy, insecurity, all those hatred. You know what I mean? Those things will stop you from saying, God, please help me. Or ask somebody for help that's supposed to love you. Or there's something like put somebody down because you having a rough day or something like that. These things are whispered in the ear of human beings, man. And those things are called jinn. Those things are coming from Satan. And that's what he does. He whispers in the minds, in the heart of man. So man cannot do what he was created to do. And we got to be ever mindful. So we have to stay taqwa. We have to stay God consciousness at all times. We have to say in the name of God, and we have to say all praise be to God, glory be to God, astaghfirullah. That means forgive me, God, the worship one. So, and this is where I'm at today, man. And this is where I really want people to think about that we can do this. We do not have to bow down to a power that's evil or wicked. You know what I mean? That we can keep ourselves up. We can love ourselves so that we can be loved by somebody else. How about that? We can be selfless. You know what I mean? We can love and don't expect love in return. Then when it comes, we know it's genuine. And I was telling some people last night, and I'm always running my mouth, so I was listening to the scholars. One of them said, when one of the scholars said, well, when we're young, when we get told about Satan, we think he's this little short red man with knots in his head, and then he got these sharp teeth and a tail on him with a knot in it. He's all muscular, he's triple strong, and all this stuff right here, And then when we grow up and we get a chance to make our own choice and to do our own rationalization, we know that Satan comes with lipstick on, nice hair, nice fingernail, big muscles, nice cars, nice houses, nice jewelry. He comes in so many different ways, man. And so we got to be ever mindful that he's not coming like that little red man. He coming like that beauty queen or that real handsome guy with the real nice hair and the beautiful eyes and the beautiful skin and the nice build and the nice fingernails and all the hair, you know what I mean, and the pretty teeth and all that kind of stuff. So he comes in many different forms and fashions. That's my point. So beware. Stay taqwa so God can help you through this, because Satan is mighty, man, and we can't do it by ourselves now. You can't beat Satan. You can't beat Satan. Only way you can beat him is be smart. Be smart, because guess who you got on your side? You got the one who created him and also created you. You know? And I'll tell you about the circle side when Noah Ali says, man, the truth and falsehood is strangely mixed. You know, in the circle 7, Morrison Temple of America. And that's the truth. We got it in us. We got it all in us. We got love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice in us. Just like we got arrogance, pride, jealousy, envy, and insecurity in us. But it's strangely mixed. But the one that you feed is the one that's going to be, that you're going to put out in the world. You're going to put out in the universe, the one that you feed. So which one are you feeding? Are you feeding your higher self or your lower self? You see what I'm saying? I try to feed the high, so I know what's going out there. So more than likely, what I put out there is what I'm going to come back with. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to read what we sow. Karma, whatever you want to call it. That don't mean bad going to happen. That ain't going to never happen to you, because you're going to get tested. But when them tests come, what you say? Alhamdulillah. All praise be to God. Bismillah, in the name of God. Subhanallah, glory be to God. You know what I mean? So these words right here are words of strength to let the Creator know you call on Him and you believing in Him, and that He can pull you through anything. And I got a friend that's very special. Said I thought he wasn't gonna put no more on me than I can bear, and he's not. However, we put stuff on ourselves, you know, and we still bearing it because God strengthened us too. So if He put something on you, put something on yourself, and then you still make it through there, guess what? God gave you the strength to make it through. So think about that. That's a beautiful analogy, man, because God ain't gonna put no more on us than we can bear. And we gotta be responsible for ourselves. The father cannot take the blame for the son, and the son cannot take the blame for the father, the mother for the daughter, daughter for the mother. We as individuals gotta be responsible for the things that we do. And then there's the reward or punishment, regardless of what you think. But study. I'm saying this because I study every day. Every single day that God gives me air in my body and a brain to think, and a brain to feel, and a brain to discern. You know, scientifically you got 3 brains, right? One between your ears, one in your chest, and one in your stomach. So those brains got to be in direct correlation to get your best results from my studies. But study, don't take Glenn's word. But you can call Glenn anytime at 573-268-5192. This is the Glenn Cobbin Senior One Heartbeat Podcast. Hello, Heavenly Humans. Heavenly Humans, I miss y'all, man, and I really want to start talking. I want to interview some people, so I'm going to start trying to, stop being so lazy, because I've been lazy, more slothful, all the above. You know what I mean? But we're gonna try to conquer that. We're going to try to conquer, but we got to keep on going, man. We just can't stop, So I believe that I'll put it for a reason. I know I was. We all were. And to fulfill to fulfill the obligations, to fulfill the things that our Creator wanted us to do, we need help. We need to band together. We need to fight this thing together. We need to tell these young boys out there what's going on with these gunshots and all that stuff right there, man. And everybody said, well, we used to fight. Yeah, we don't even want to fight no more. We don't need to fight. We don't need to fight. We need to talk. We need to dialogue. And those people who say they're out there doing this, that, and the third, well, get out there and do it then. Get out there and do it. Because I'm out there all the time, and I don't see nobody doing nothing. So let's get out there and do it together. I think we should, because one person can't do it, man. That ain't how God intended for it to be. Even Nehemiah in the Bible, he built the wall. He used everybody. He used the harlots, which are the prostitutes. He used the wine bibbers. He used the money changers. He used the politicians. He used the taxpayers. And he was a king. And he used himself to build that wall to protect their city Let's protect our city, y'all. How about that? Hey, that sounds real good, don't it? But let's do it, though. You know, I can be reached anytime at 573-268-5192. This is the Glenn Cobbin Sr. One Heartbeat Podcast. Signing off. Heavenly humans, peace, and plenty of love.